Hey everybody, it's always nice to get a really cool Christmas gift. It's kind of dark, so let me put it over here. That's a little cup that you put your utensils in, your cooking utensils. This is an old one. Once again, it's dark, but hopefully you can see it fine. We come across so many of these in 27 years being married, it's ridiculous. So now we're purging out. This is all going to be donated. This is going to stay, but typically we have it in a drawer, and that drawer gets cluttered. So here's, I'm going to make a cover for this. This is the fabric my wife picked out, all right, and check out the price. Is that pretty cool? All right, and it's much more than a yard. It's going to be more than enough. So what you do, the way you do this, is take a coffee container top, this round, put it on the bottom, but these all kind of pushed together up on top. That's going to be the circumference of your thing that's going to go over the top that you're going to make. Now what I did is I made a mark on the side here, and we start that mark somewhere on your countertop, and I put it right there at the beginning, and I roll it along, and when you roll it along, it comes around to 16. It comes around the 16 mark, and what I do is I always add a couple of more. All right, so you go a little bit more because your hem. You have to do your hem mark on it. So at 16. I drew my plans. I put a 6 there, so I need to put a 16 there. So it's better to measure twice and cut once, just like carpenters do. I measured 13 inches up. I'm going to measure that again. I figured I need 3 feet of fabric, and that's what we got for 56 cents at Walmart. All right, so that's my circumference going around. I said 27 inches. It's actually 16, so I got to just check everything. But it's always good to measure before you do it. That way you do a good job. You can use a sewing machine, or you can hand sew. Hand sew takes a little bit longer, but you got to make it look neat. All right, but I'm probably going to do a little bit of both. Okay, my final measurements. It is 16, going 6 straight across the top, and this is basically the top. Okay, so I'm going to add probably an inch or so I can do the hemming on that. 14 and a half going up, and it's going to be a little bit of hemming on that, and 17 on the bottom, or going all the way around to 17. Always add a little bit more for hem. All right, so I'm going to probably I like doing about an inch or so, and I can always trim after that. All right, now, yeah, this is all the fabric I got for some 51 cents or something, or whatever it was, under $1. That's pretty massive. I think that's a pretty good deal. Anyway, what I did is I measured up, and it turned out to be, okay, 17, I made it 18. 14 and a half, I made 15 and a half. 6, I made 6 and a half. All right, giving it 2 1/4 inches to fold over. All right, because this stuff right here, this is the fraying that you don't want happening under. If you do 1 fold over, it's going to fray to the point of compromising the stitch. So you need to do 2 fold overs. Down at the bottom, there's no fraying, so you can probably get away with it, but I still do 2 fold overs. Okay, over here, in my case, I just took the lid, put it over, traced around the lid, then added a 1/2 inch. All right, so this is what I did, showing the 1/2 inch, and then on the back of this, I show going up. All right, so they're cut out now, and what I need to do is go do all the hemming. Now, here's something to think about. All right, when you have a top like this, granted it's 2 1/4 inches. You need to only fold over 1 1/4 inch, because then you'll have a way to hook up to the top of this. I got to thinking of that, saying if I did fold it over 2 1/4 inches using up the 1/2 inch, I wouldn't have anything to actually hook up to this. So hopefully I can illustrate that. I made a drawing, it's not too good, but hopefully I can illustrate that when I do this. I'm not going to show you the sewing that I do, because I'll show you the 1/4 inch, and then another 1/4 inch when it's done. Now, I did this side twice over, but you can see I went pretty deep on the second one. So this is a learning tool. You'll learn as you go along. So what happened now is I just did 1 over on this side, because it's not the fraying side. The fraying side is the top and bottom. So right here, I brought it back to check, see if I was still on 14 and a half. I'm just short of it, which I'm not really worried about. Okay, it should still work just fine. All right, so definitely check after the sewing that you're in that range of what you wrote down, the 14 and a half, that's top and bottom. All right, so it should wrap around just fine anyway, because I always give it a little bit extra. All right, now before you do the side that's frayed, cut off all the fraying parts so they don't stick out underneath your folds. I did it a little bit over here, and I probably have to cut some more of this over here before I bring this up. But then when you bring it up, you're also going to cover up your loose ends here, and it's going to be up above that. Okay, this is a 1/4 inch fold on the frayed end. So you can see I didn't get that. All right, so I got to get it again, and you want to clip this off. This is the fraying that happens. If you don't fold this over again, this is going to fray and compromise the stitch, especially if you're hand sewing. So you want to fold it over one more time. And that's the way the frayed side should look. Doubled over, almost perfect, almost on the 17 right there. Really nice. Okay, so now to do the top part there, that's going to be a little tricky. Now, I've never sewn a circle before, so this was a big chore. I had to go around once at a 1/4 inch, and then I went around again to get the rest of it down. So I'm sitting at about 6, it looks like 6.5 almost, 6 1/4. Yeah, somewhere in there. So that's going to be really nice. That's going to allow me to go down inside this and sew it. So now all these hems are going to be on the inside of the component going over, the curtain that's going to go over the utilities. Well, I got the sewing the top on, and I found out I had all this left over. I have about 3 inches or so left in there. So I put this on the unit itself, right side out, and I can tuck this down and still wrap it around, and it'll still look good. From here on out, it was really hard to sew this on the sewing machine. I went as far as I could. So from here on out, what you want to do is hand sewing, because I don't have a sewing machine to actually put this on and run it this way. It's a sleeve that I can go around if I wanted to, but not to run it this way. So time for hand sewing. Okay, you can learn that. Just trial and error. Up and down, hook type, and keep them tight because you want it to last a while. Oh, there it is, guys and gals. That's the seam right there. Very hard to see under normal lighting conditions. It's got a little handle up here now, and that's actually useful for grabbing this and lifting it up. Now, it does take a little bit putting back on, but I mean, being on your counter like that, protected by from the elements of grease and dust and all that, I think it's a pretty good, cool idea. Yeah, I'm getting ready to show you how to hem up pants that are too long here. So that's going to be in the next video. Subscribe and see a whole lot more videos. Take care. Bye.